What's up, guys? I just want to show you guys a couple things in regards to the futures market. Um, I've been doing a little bit of back testing and just kind of the things that I see, what stick out to me the most in regards to the futures. As you know, my strategy when it comes to options relies on the open, where price opens in relation to the Fab 4, right? So I'm kind of taking that same approach with this. And we can see, like, I'll kind of just jump into it and kind of give you guys what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Um, so right here, so this was priced today, but this was the open here. So this is price in leading into the open is what I'm saying. We can see how, the state of this is relatively narrow. It's neutral. It's really neutral narrow, and this is in my PDF that I talk about this neutral and or narrow, right? Um, but leading into the open, we can see they're relatively close. They're not in a wide state. The 20 isn't trending up and away from everything, obviously, right? So as you can see, it's kind of just narrow gliding right into the open. Once that open happens, you can see there we get a nice power bar on the open, and the 20 starts to curl up. You can see here that it's starting to try to curl up. So once that starts to happen, we take note, obviously, and try to look for a solid entry to the upside. And in this case, it would have been right here. This would have been the most ideal entry when this green broke right above this white candle here, and you place your stop underneath the bottom of this. But what I really want to show you guys is this trend here, this narrow state that price is in leading into the open. And then once we get that open, it's really not even about the candles. It's more so about the SMAs. It's more so about this 20 above the 200. So we're in long position already. Once we get this curl up and we see this start to trend up and away from that 200 like that after the open, this is um a trending, a momentum move, So after you get an entry event during a case like that, I mean, you enter and you go long, But I want to show you how price is creating a wide state in the SMAs coming from a narrow state when we lead into the open. So as we can see here, boom, that SMA gets wide, way wider than any of this, way wider. I mean, we're way wider than any of that. You know what I mean? So whenever that happens, that's the move we want to catch right there. Coming into that open, as long as the states are narrow. Right? So let's see some other examples and look at the volume at the bottom for the opens. This would, like this one, not my favorite here, right? It leading into this open, you have, let's see, you have some wider states, some dips here. You have some of this leading into this open, and then look what you get. You get some chop. Now eventually price starts to try to trend, but we're still breaking that 20, as you can see here. So I don't really like this price action. And the reason why is because of the way the state of the SMAs were leading into that open. Whenever they're not like this, we want close as much as we can. We do not want a 200 that trends down and a 20 we're not looking for that whenever we go into the open. We want a clean open. So this is an example of one I would have sat out. I probably wouldn't have traded this price action. Oh, wow, we just got a big drop. Look at that on NQ. Look at that volume. It just popped up. Holy crap. Okay, sorry. Anyways, but as we keep going, you can see, and this one was good. This we actually took a trade on. leading into that open, as you can see, look how narrow the state is in price leading into the open. And then once you get the open, you get the trend, that trend down. Is it in a short position? Yes, because the 200 is above the 20. And if that's the case, then that means we're in short position. So then we just wait on a color change entry event, place our stop directly above, and ride it down that momentum until this creates a wide state. You see what I mean? So that narrowness here is really what's giving us that push and that move out into the open. But we're not buying just on that alone. That narrow state and then a push with a trending 20, this is not getting me in, this is not getting me in, this is not getting me. Our entry model is very, very strict, so we wait on that. We wait on that, right? So once you get the color change, you enter. 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 Right? Just wanted to show you guys really what I've kind of been looking at leading into these opens. Leading into these opens. Narrow state. Narrow state. Boom. Open. Trending 20. Color change. Color change. You see what I mean? Whenever they're tighter like this, this open gives us more opportunity once this 20 starts to trend. That's when the entries start to come. Once this 20 starts to trend. So in this example, this would have been prime entry. Because at the 20's trending down away from this 200. And it's below the 200. It's a tighter SMA coming from a tighter SMA state. So I could see this being a valid entry to the downside. Right there. Stop loss goes right above this 20. And then you just move it down. Boom. So I could see that being a good one. Right? But the only reason is the state of the SMAs. You know what I mean? Look at the state of the SMAs here. Look at the state of the SMAs. Look how tight. Look how tight leading into that 20. Right? I'm sorry, leading into that open. Once you get the open, boom, you start to pick direction. Right? So right here, we're going down. So I'm thinking, okay, this 20 is going to start trending down, and I could look for shorts here. This white candle here did not take out the green. That would have triggered short entries. We didn't get that because price wanted to go the opposite direction. It totally retook this whole narrow state here. Right here. Totally retook that whole narrow state. Once it does, this lets me know price is strong. This could want to continue to the upside. And as you can see, price trended up that day. But I'm just letting you guys see, this is kind of more so what I'm looking for. Color change entry right on the 20 that's trending from a narrow state. That's really it. Anytime the SMAs are not narrow leading into the open, I probably wouldn't want to trade it. That's kind of the conclusion that I've come down to. This is beautiful. The best price action is really New York session. Asia session has some decent ones sometimes I'm seeing, but really it's New York. Right here, again, narrow state. And then once you get the open, which is here, boom, this 20 starts to trend up. Once it trends up, you just wait for a green to take out a white. That one did not do it, so that would not be an entry. This one did it. Boom. So this would be your entry right here. Bam. Your stop loss would go a little bit underneath this entry. And this would be your risk. Right? And as you can see, price continued. up and making that wide state in the SMAs. Right, so this is just showing you guys that that narrow state leading into open is really what you want to see. That's the ideal situation. Look how narrow. Right, and then you get the open and you just wait on a trend. You wait on this 20 to start trending a certain direction. Make sure it's in the right location. If you're looking for longs, it needs to be above the 200. If you're looking for shorts, it needs to be below the 200. Right, so right here we get the open, we have the narrow state, we get the trending 20. Now all we're waiting on is a green to totally take over a white. This one didn't do it, this one didn't do it, this one did it. Right here on top of that 20. That's your risk, that white box. This is your reward. Once we break this 20, you're out of the trade. So this is another great example of that tight, narrow 220 SMA and price action leading into that open. Right? This one probably wouldn't be as nice. Even if there's a move here, it wouldn't be as nice as the one we just saw, for one, because there's more space in between. So it's a little bit bigger of a state, which it's not a huge, wide state like this, so it's not terrible, but it's just something to take note of. It's not ideal. It's not A+, you know? But you do get a nice move down, and then you get a color change here. You could have placed a short trade here, stop above this, down to new lows, taking some profit. So it would have worked here. But my point is, we try to look for that super narrow, super tight. That's really going to be the A+. You know what I mean? As long as it's not really wide. That's kind of more so the action that I'm getting at. Leading into that open, is it wide? Is it narrow? You know what I mean? We more so want to see like this. Very, very narrow. Boom. Color change, entry event to the upside when that 20 starts trending. That's really the type of price action we want to see. And this one's fine, but you can see compared to this, look how narrow that is. Okay, we just jolted back to the day, but yeah, anyways, that's good enough. I just wanted to show you guys leading into that price action, leading into that open. The real SMA state you want to look for is that close tight. The closer the better, the tighter the better. If you're going long, that 20 needs to start trending upward. If you're going short, it needs to break this 200 and start trending downward. Right? So just wanted to show you guys that, because that's a pretty powerful little tip I found there, just back testing a few things. But let me know if it works out for you guys. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment or message me.